Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Carmen Wabagijik-Nuchtai. I'm the Director of Health and Community Wellness for Tikmikshing and Anishinaabe. Welcome to our Health Q&A this week. Today is Thursday, July 2nd, and today we have a panel of 3. And we have myself along with Lisa Grew. She's our home care manager. And then today we are going to feature Allyssa Soucy. Allyssa is our child and youth worker, and she's been working with us in the community for a few years now. She's doing very well in her position, and I'm really excited for her to do this feature today. So this week, we will be talking about traveling outside of the Northeastern Ontario area and the isolation that we are asking people to do if they've traveled outside that Northeastern Ontario region. And we'd also are going to talk a little bit about the 14-day isolation or a test. And then we'll get into Alyssa's presentation. So I will begin. We did send out a information to the community already on this. So it will be a notice to all visitors and returning residents. If you are traveling from outside the Northeastern Ontario area, you need to self-isolate for 14 days before visiting with family and friends in a Tikmikshing. This includes people that travel outside the area for work. Outside the Northeastern Ontario includes east of Mattawa, south of Parry Sound, and west of North Bay. The hotspots in Ontario is the main focus and is really the reason why we implement this outside of the Northeastern Ontario area. We do know that the hotspots right now are more in the Toronto area, Peel, Kingston, things like that, places like that, and you can get that from the news as well. So if you, instead of the 14-day isolation, you could do a COVID test. This would be about 2 to 4 days to get your results. And then learning about the testing, there is an online portal that you can access as well to get your results. 48 hours after a negative test and being symptom-free, then you can visit with your family and friends. And this is a protection, for your grandparents, for older individuals, and for those with underlying health conditions. Anyone coming from the US or the Greater Toronto area, you must self-isolate or get a test. You can report that to Marina McCumber, our community health nurse, or myself, and we will keep track of that. Reminder, the gathering limit is 10 people. Establish your social circle. If you're planning to return to the community after being outside of the Northeastern Ontario, please contact our COVID coordinator, Julia, at covid@wlfn.com or 705-918-6752. Be responsible, spread the word, and share the knowledge. We want to keep the community safe. And if you know that you're coming back to the community and you're outside of this area, get a test, and then this way, by the time you get here, you'll have that result. And now we're going to go into Lisa, and we had 3 questions that came from community members, and the questions were: how will this be monitored? Is this only for individuals traveling from outside Northeastern Ontario? And is this a new measure? Lisa, take it away.
Good afternoon. So this is not a new measure. It's already been in place. It's just not one that's always been enforced. We relied on people to call and inquire about their travel, how to isolate when they return to the community. With social media, others were often more aware when band members were planning to return to the community, and discussion occurred on various social media platforms, or band members called to report those situations. We're asking band members who have travel away or want to travel home to contact us for guidance on what is required to isolate when they get home or to get a test at a testing location. We do feel it's better to support and encourage one another and our band members to come forward and understand the expectations rather than to be reporting on each other. Getting a test for COVID-19 is faster than a 14-day isolation period, but still requires some isolation after a negative test result. A test is a picture of only that one day. Someone can have a negative result and then contract the virus in community transmission. So if you have any suggestions or scenarios that you'd like COVID response team to consider, you're more than welcome to put those forward and we'll bring them up in the future. Thank you. We can't hear you, Carmen.
Sorry about that. I always do that. I always forget to unmute myself. So thank you, Lisa. And so now we're going to go on to our feature with Allyssa. So welcome, Allyssa. And if you'd like to talk to the community a bit about your programs.
Thanks, Carmen. Like she said, my name is Allyssa Soucy. I am the local child and youth worker, and my job in the community is to provide holistic programming to children and youth. However, we do accept children of all ages, and we do have a focus age of 7 to 21, so 7 to 12 and then 13 to 21. But if you do come to our program or you are interested in some of the stuff that we have here, then we definitely do take you. We don't turn anybody away. And I have yet to say no to someone, which is really nice. We do have some really awesome programming going on this month. It is online still because we are in a state of emergency until July 28th. So I am doing little tiny craft women that have a little tiny red dress. And I have the little wooden pegs here. They're cute, they're so small. So we're just gonna do a little tiny wooden women with little tiny red dress as like a little figurine for missing murder Indigenous women, and that's our craft night. It's this Friday, so I'll be making the video today. I'm kind of like separating paint right now while we're in this little meeting. And then on Monday, if everything goes well with the COVID response team, we're hoping to have a community barbecue. We're inviting everyone to come out and choose a hamburger or hot dog. It's gonna be in a brown paper bag wrapped in tin foil with individual condiments in a juice box. And then you can actually sign up for the summer program, which is kids age 5 to 12. And then we also are gonna have other programmers hopefully there that will promote their programming. So if you are kind of wondering, like say you're 50 and you're like, hey, I don't know what's out there for me because I just turned 50. Well, then we're hoping to have their calendar there or someone to be there to represent them and kind of let them know, hey, there's actually all these programs offered for you. Or if you're in a family and you're family well-being and you don't know what's out there for you, well, they have lots of awesome programming that you can actually get in on. So it would be a great chance for you to see what's out there for you. Especially my age range. I'm like 26, 27 now, and I don't even recall. My birthday was in June. But there's lots of programming out there for our ages, and I find that it's just not being found yet. So it would be nice to see people out on Monday at the barbecue and just to like see people out, which we will have screening and measurements in place to keep you safe. And we will be providing PPE for people if they feel like they're kind of worried about that. Come and check us out. We'll be at the tennis courts on Monday. So that's a pending approval if the COVID response team says yes. But next week for programming for 13 to 21, we do have like a whole bunch of family oriented collaborative ideas going on right now next week. So this is with the family wellbeing program as well as myself. And then we have education, social services involved too. So on that note, they're doing a family beach day on the Tuesday. On the Wednesday, they're offering strawberry picking for people as families to go together and go and pick some strawberries. And then I know on Thursday nights they're trying to do a movie, like a drive-in style movie at the baseball field. And Chillin' and Tubin', I heard, is full, so I think that will be like a fun activity to do again in August, for another set of chance people to go to something like that. I am doing the AOG meetings again. I am trying to kind of get that going again, because I found that they kind of fell off, which was like it was kind of like a youth council, a youth initiative. And since the COVID-19 response team, I haven't seen them get together in a while, and I really miss seeing their faces. So I'm gonna do a delivered lunch or dinner. If they want to come to that, they need to sign up so I can make sure that I get them a plate to their house. And then I'm doing a Celebrate Your Success contest, because there is a graduation party coming up on July 16th. So I am submitting a contest for you to celebrate your success. If you, you know, if you graduated, send me a photo, you'll probably get a prize. It doesn't have to be graduation. It can be like small celebrations, like, oh my God, I made my first loaf of bread. So it can be something little like that, or it can be something big. It's just you celebrating the gifts that you have and what you used during this time. So I also have a healthy cook-off happening too. We're hoping to create urgency in this sign up first come first serve. There's going to be a list of ingredients posted for families, and then as soon as you sign up for this healthy snack cook-off, you get a chance to pick off the ingredients list. I send it to you, and then you have to make a healthy snack with those 3 ingredients. And as people sign up, the list is going to get smaller, and hopefully we can see some interesting stuff come out of that. On top of all that, I'm also doing a water balloon parenting challenge. So if you want to win a gift card, I'm pretty sure it's a $100 Visa or MasterCard that we're giving away, but you have to have a water balloon baby for the week, and there's stipulations behind it. So you have to sign up for that. And it's kind of a cool way to think about parenting, and just to get kids kind of in that mode where they're like, hey, this is actually not that easy. And then I'm also doing a create your own meme challenge. So I don't know if anybody knows what a meme is, but it's kind of like a picture with a funny sentence behind it. So sometimes they'll say funny sayings. Well, this one is a challenge for you to put an Ojibwe word into the meme and kind of win first, second, third. Lastly, for the month, I'm doing a share your adventure, and that's like a contest for you to go on an adventure somewhere and then send me pictures, send me a video, send me something, a write-up of you taking this adventure. So this is a chance for you to say, hey, I'm gonna give you something to go out there and explore. There's a lot of awesome stuff out there. I have been doing a lot of hikes myself personally. And I know it's really hot, but it feels good to kind of work out. That physical activity really is good. The parks are open, like the hiking park. So I know Kibi Park is open, but the actual structures themselves you shouldn't be touching them and whatnot. But you can go on the hike, and it's really nice. They're really groomed well, and the brush is really nice and thick. So the bush is nice right now to be at. And I know a lot of people are doing water stuff right now because of the heat. So I hope everyone's staying safe out there. And my prizes have kind of correlated with the heat. So I had a young girl, her name's Riley, and she did a TikTok challenge last month. And she went fishing with her older cousin, and she just won a big floaty. I'm about to post a lot of the videos. We had a lot of good feedback when it came to our online programming. Yeah, so we're just doing online stuff right now, and I'm hoping that in person we can do family-oriented activities so that families can go out and spend time with each other.
Okay. Thank you, Alyssa. I'm just curious, how did the transition from face-to-face programming and going to virtual program, how was that transition for you and the program?
So I'm like not at all like a video artist, and I do find sometimes I get like a bit of an anxiety when I do go online. So it was different. It was kind of different at first. I was like, so how is this gonna work? But I wasn't like I'm just gonna give up and we're not gonna run programs. You know what I mean? Like I knew that our people needed something. So I was like, we need something and there's gotta be a way around this problem. And I'm kind of like one of those people that are a problem fixer. So I'm like a problem solver, problem fixer. So I was like, how is this gonna look? Well, I can probably sanitize 48 Easter egg hunt kits and hand them out. And maybe we can do something with social distancing. So that was really fun and interesting. And it kind of kicked off an inspiration. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel beat because I don't think anybody's watching, but I know it's hitting somewhere. I
Mhm.
hopefully, anyways. Yeah, a girl can always try, you know.
Definitely. Thank you. So in your role as the child and youth worker over the past couple of years, what would you say are the most impactful moments or the highlights of your program with the community members?
So I would say one of the biggest highlights I had in the past 2 years was the movers and shakers. That was really fun. We did like a multi youth, so there was multi generations of youth. There was younger youth and older youth, and then there was like two different gatherings. There was a summer 3-day gathering and there was a 1-day winter gathering. And I remember there was all these girls piled up in one tent, and it was just so much fun to be dancing on the sacred grounds. And it was like this silent beach party, and it had a lot of people there. Like I think we had over 83 participants at that silent beach party, and it was like quiet at the sacred grounds, but meanwhile everybody's dancing and we were all having a really good time. So that was like one of my favorite times, was doing that movers and shakers, because I got to see youth from other communities too, and then they were like asking me for that. Like our youth were asking me for that. And just moments where you like, small moments where you know you made a difference, you know, those are like the moments. So it's not always like a huge thing to be a highlight, but even just for me to know that I, you know, help somebody in one way or another,
Mhm.
that made the difference.
That is
That's my
awesome.
highlight.
That is awesome to hear. I know when I was young, teenager, and Carol Nuchtai, she was our worker at the time, and she would bring us to all different communities. We'd travel all over the place, playing baseball, different activities, and just to meet other community members or meet other people who are First Nation. It just gives you that feel good feelings. So I'm really
Yeah.
happy that you're here and that you've been able to impact our youth, our children and youth in a good way. I do hear some good things from families and some from parents, so I'm really happy that you're here. And thank you for being on our feature this week. That is the closing for our feature right now. Allyssa did explain as some of the summer day camp programs that's going to be occurring over the next summer as well. It will be virtual, so it will be something new again. And I think it will be some good programming as we've been through COVID now for I think three months, and the virtual programs are getting a little bit easier to do now. So with that being said, it's very hot outside. This week we've had very high humidity levels. I believe yesterday was like 37 degrees, so that was very hot. So make sure you stay hydrated, stay out of the sun, and eat well. If you are experiencing any heat distress or any just feeling not well, let us know or visit your doctor, call your doctor, and take care of yourself. So be safe. Bye. Miigwech.